Kidnapped 4 aid workers working with the World Health Organization in the southern eastern region of Gedo, and that's one of the areas worst affected by a severe drought. The WHO says on its website that its motive behind the kidnapping of aid workers is not known, and the regional administration is yet to comment on the incident. Gedo is one of the areas in which Al-Shabaab militants say they've been delivering aid to people facing the risk of starvation. Now back here in Nigeria, the Borno state government has allocated 500 hectares of land to the Nigerian army for the establishment of a military university. The university will be an upgraded version of the army's already existing Institute of Technology and Environmental Study. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, explains that the time has come for military personnel to be more technologically equipped to handle the situation of terror. Top-ranking officers all waiting to hear the next command from the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai. And when he mounts the podium, he tells the officers that the time is running out and the war against terror should be brought to a close. But before then, there's need for more training of army personnel to build capacity in the area of indigenous technology.
The Nigerian Army Institute of Technology and Environmental Studies is being upgraded to Nigerian Army University. The university is being conceived as a unique university that will be different from other conventional universities in Nigeria. The concept is to make it a solution provider and a center of excellence for a variety of technically related ventures such as power generation and armament production.
This may be the military's way of checking insurgency, but the UNICEF country representative does not share the same view, as he argues that the best way of bringing insurgency to a close is by rehabilitating women and children displaced during the period of insurgency.
We are ready to work with the state of Borno and the state of the other and the government of the other states that are involved into this conflict to make sure that we together join our hands and invest in the children of the state affected by this conflict.
The government of Borno State believes that the military has sacrificed a lot in getting the areas under Boko Haram watch back to the authorities. And for them, whatever it takes to improve the army and other arms of the armed forces will be supported by the state government.
On our part, as a state government, we embark on massive infrastructure development of education institutions across the state. And this will continue until all our schools have been renovated so as to create a conducive learning environment for our children.
Nothing is too much to give for peace to reign, and that's why the army is preparing its men for the challenges ahead by making sure they acquire the right knowledge for capacity building. Meanwhile, Nigerian students in northern India say they are worried about their safety after locals launched a brutal attack on some Nigerian nationals. After a March 27 mob attack in which 4 Nigerian students were thrashed in a shopping mall in Greater Noida, off-campus African students have now locked themselves up in view of the recent surge in the violence targeting them. The attack followed a protest over the death of a 19-year-old student, with the mob accusing the Nigerian community of supplying drugs to the pupil.
Olawale Toyib and Okole Chidera sit idly in their rented room, worried about their future and wondering how they ended up in such a situation where they have to stay indoors to survive. The 2 Nigerian nationals are part of a 4,000-strong students community from Africa studying in various colleges and private universities in Greater Noida, 24 miles from New Delhi.
Everybody is just afraid of another attack, so we are just here while the classes are going on. We are here looking for a way to go back and join our colleagues.
23-year-old Toyib is pursuing civil engineering from a private university and feels his education has taken a step back since the attack and restricted his movement in town. The Ibadan-born student says he has been facing discrimination and racial prejudice since landing in India 2 years ago. He believes the lack of awareness and literacy about Africans amongst the locals is the reason behind the almost daily ordeal of being the subject of racial jokes and ogling.
They feel superior on us. So I see no reason why that should happen. We are all equal. So, and a series of attacks has been carried out by this, our host country. So the major reason why this attack keeps on repeating itself, I can say it's illiteracy. Because these people, they needed an orientation and a civic education on how to associate with foreigners, and they should be well aware that actually Africans, we are friendly, we are peaceful people, and we don't like violence.
Apart from racial discrimination, the communication barrier also makes life difficult for the students who have travelled over 4,000 miles to seek better education and work opportunities. Toib says the number of students coming from Africa will reduce drastically and tarnish India's image as an education hub if the government fails to tackle the raging racism in its streets. There has been a spate of attacks on African nationals in and around New Delhi in the recent past. Last year, several Africans were beaten up in New Delhi and a Congolese man was stoned to death.
Very unfortunate one there. Well, the Eritrean government has criticized a move by the U.S. State Department to sanction its army over an alleged military deal with North Korea. The deal was revealed in a report released in February by the UN Security Sanctions Committee. The report says that the cargo carrying military radio equipment from North Korea was intercepted while on its way to Eritrea. But the Eritrean government dismissed the decision as inexplicable and unwarranted, saying that they were part of plans to extend UN sanctions against the country due to be reviewed this month. Eritrea has been under UN sanctions since 2009 following accusations that the government supported the Al-Shabaab militant group in Somalia, accusations vehemently denied by Asmara. Well, still to come on Network Africa, new industrial parks in Senegal eye millions of jobs from Chinese firms. Please stay with us for details.